This is a short pre-roll because a few business partners, friends, and very observant humans have already asked the obvious question. The channel is called Faceless YouTube Automation HQ, but there is a face on screen. Fair point. The Committee of Literal Interpretation has been notified. Here is what faceless means to us. It does not mean that a human face is legally forbidden from appearing in the frame, as if we had to blur myself like a witness in a documentary. It means the video is not built around a traditional face channel production model. No creator studio, no camera setup, no 3 lights trying to make one forehead behave, no filming session, no second camera angle pretending the room suddenly became more important, no 50 takes because a cable, a cough, or a haircut decided to join the management team. This is my digital twin. It looks like me, it speaks with my voice, and frankly, even after decades in IT, I still find that slightly unreasonable. I am not exactly Gen Z, so when technology reaches the point where my avatar can attend a filming session before I have finished my coffee, I pay attention. But the important part is not the face. The important part is the workflow. Our videos are scripted, generated, rendered, animated, assembled, and improved through a production system. Voice, avatar, remotion graphics, code-driven visuals, and controlled post-production. In other words, the face is visible, but the workflow is faceless. That distinction matters for this channel. We are not trying to remove humans from the process. We are trying to remove unnecessary production friction from the process. So yes, face on screen, but no traditional face channel machinery behind it. The face may be digital, but the engineering behind it is real. Now that the Faceless with a Face department has filed its report, let us get to the actual topic, starting from zero, but not from ignorance. There's a strange way to start a YouTube channel. You publish a welcome video, tell people you are starting from 0 subscribers, and then immediately talk about systems, workflows, AI, creator research, production pipelines, and data ownership. It almost sounds like the channel should already have a success story behind it. It does not. And that is the point. We are starting from 0 on purpose. But we are not starting from ignorance. That distinction matters. 0 subscribers means the channel has not earned public trust yet. It has not earned retention. It has not earned comments, watch history, returning viewers, or any of the nice little signals that make a channel feel alive. We are not going to pretend otherwise. If someone tells you they have cracked YouTube before they have shown the work, you are allowed to keep one eyebrow available for inspection, preferably the skeptical one. But 0 subscribers does not mean 0 experience. Behind this channel are decades of software work, real tools, real production systems, real mistakes, real fixes, and a very practical preference for things that do not collapse the moment you use them for more than a demo. I am not arriving here as a YouTube celebrity. I am arriving as a systems person. That means I care about inputs, outputs, constraints, failure modes, and boring reliability. Boring is underrated, especially when deadlines, invoices, API keys, or production schedules are involved. That is the space this channel wants to live in, not in the fantasy of effortless automation, but in the engineering of workflows that can survive contact with Monday morning. So here is the credibility rule for this channel. We will separate 3 things. First, what we know. We know software architecture, APIs, data flows, automation, privacy boundaries, exports, authentication, and the small technical traps that quietly steal your weekends. Second, what we believe. We believe users and creators should own their keys, their data, their workflows, and their decisions. Third, what we are testing publicly, we are testing whether those principles can help us build this channel from 0 in a way you can actually watch. If something works, we can show it. If something does not work, we can learn from it. Both are more useful than pretending certainty where there is only ambition. That is why this is not a victory speech. It is a public build. We are not saying, here is the finished success story, copy these steps and buy the magic button. We are saying, here is the system we are going to use. Here is why we designed it this way. Here is what we expect. And over time, we will see what holds up. That is less glamorous than a secret formula. It is also less allergic to reality, and reality is where most workflows either become useful or quietly become expensive decoration. The first principle is simple: systems over vibes. A YouTube channel is not only a creative object, it is also a system. It has inputs, ideas, research, scripts, visuals, tools, time, budget, and decisions. It has outputs, videos, thumbnails, titles, retention, comments, subscribers, and eventually, maybe revenue. Between inputs and outputs are workflows. If the workflow is chaotic, the output becomes expensive. Not always in money, often in time, frustration, abandoned drafts, and that special kind of browser tab archaeology where nobody remembers why tab number 27 is still open. A system does not remove creativity. It protects creativity from being buried under repetitive admin work. This is also why the channel will talk about tools, but it will not be a tool commercial disguised as education. We build tools, we use them, we are proud of them, but a product should not appear before the problem is understood. If a video is about API keys, the point is not to advertise a product with a key field. The point is to understand what a key is, who controls it, where it lives, what it can do, and how to revoke it when the party is over. Only after that does it make sense to show how a tool handles the key responsibly. Product after principle, implementation after understanding. The same applies to creator research. We can show a tool that reads YouTube signals. But the deeper lesson is not, click this button. The deeper lesson is, do not ask AI to invent a niche before you have learned to read the market. A niche is not just an exciting idea, it is a pattern you can observe. Channels, uploads, titles, views, formats, gaps, repetition, momentum. AI can help, but judgment still needs better input. If the input is only a wish, the output is usually a more confident wish. The same applies to titles. AI can write titles that sound intelligent. That is not the same as writing titles that make sense for your channel, your audience, and your evidence. Plausible language is not proof. So when we talk about title engineering, we will talk about observed vocabulary, constraints, trade-offs, and decision support. Not because that sounds more serious, although it does, but because it is more useful. A title should earn attention without lying to the viewer. That is a harder job than shouting, and a better one. And the same applies to AI agents. Agents are exciting, but they have a very boring problem: memory. If your assistant forgets everything every morning, that is not intelligence. That is a very expensive goldfish. Real AI workflows need retrievable knowledge, project context, safe handling of sensitive information, and clear boundaries between local and cloud systems. Otherwise, you are not building an assistant, you are holding a daily onboarding meeting with a machine. The goal is not to make AI sound busy. The goal is to make it useful without giving away control. This is where the wider idea of the channel comes in. Faceless YouTube is part of it, but not all of it. The bigger theme is control. Your data, your keys, your channel, your decisions. We will cover Google accounts, YouTube setup, API keys, voice workflows, local AI, production automation, title decisions, niche research, exports, backups, and agent memory. Some videos will be beginner-friendly, some will be more technical. None of them should make you feel stupid for not already knowing the answer. A good explanation should make the room bigger, not make the viewer smaller. That matters because modern tool chains can be oddly hostile to normal intelligent people. Not because the people are incapable, but because the explanations are scattered, The interfaces are inconsistent, and every provider seems to assume you already know the vocabulary from 3 other providers. So we will build a path through that. Sometimes that path will be a tutorial. Sometimes it will be a warning. Sometimes it will be a diagram. Sometimes it will be a very small workflow improvement that saves half an hour every week, which is not glamorous until you multiply it by a year. A useful channel should reduce shame, not increase it. If you do not know what an API key is, that is not a character flaw. If you have never opened Google Cloud Console, that is not a moral failure. If AI tools feel confusing, expensive, or a little too eager to own your workflow, that is a reasonable reaction. The job of this channel is to make those things understandable enough that you can make better decisions. Not to make you dependent on us, not to make you clap for the architecture, just to help you understand what is happening. So here is how to judge us. Do not judge us by whether we sound confident. Anyone can sound confident with enough music and a dramatic zoom. Judge us by whether the videos solve real problems. Judge us by whether the explanations age well. Judge us by whether the tools and examples respect your control. And judge the system by what happens as this channel grows or fails to grow in public. If the system improves, you will see the improvement. If the assumptions were wrong, we should be able to say that too. In the next video, we start with one of the smallest things that causes the biggest confusion, API keys. What they are, why bring your own key matters, where the risks are, and why owning the key is not about being technical. It is about knowing who has permission to do what. So yes, we are starting from 0, but we are going to start properly.